Welcome to this special bonus episode of The Nancy Levin Show. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we are talking about a pattern that quietly shapes the lives of so many. It's the pattern of inaction. We tell ourselves we're waiting for the right moment, the perfect plan, or the clarity to make the next move. But the truth is, the perfect time never comes. And every day we stay in inaction, we send ourselves a message that our dreams can wait, that we can wait. So this episode is about recognizing the subtle ways inaction shows up, understanding why it takes hold, and learning how to gently but powerfully move beyond it. Now, inaction isn't usually obvious. It doesn't always look like laying around on the couch doing nothing. It often disguises itself in ways that make us feel busy, responsible, and productive. Inaction can look like perfectionism, waiting until every detail is flawless before you begin. It can look like busyness, filling your calendar so completely that there's no space for what really matters. It can look like indecision, outsourcing your choices by endlessly polling others instead of trusting yourself. It can look like consumption, reading books, listening to podcasts, taking courses, but never applying what you've learned. So just take a moment here to reflect on where inaction shows up most for you. Is it hiding behind your busyness, or your perfectionism, or your constant research? The cost of staying stuck in inaction is high. Each time you delay, you quietly erode trust with yourself. You widen the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and over time, that gap can feel so wide it's overwhelming. But here is the empowering truth. The moment you can name it, you can begin to change it. So let's look at why inaction has such a hold on us. Because at its root, inaction is about fear. It can be about fear of failure. What if I try and it doesn't work? It can be about the fear of success. What if it does work and I can't keep up? Sometimes it can be about the lack of clarity. When you don't know what you want, staying still feels safer than risking the wrong move. And often it's the comfort of the familiar, because even when the familiar is painful, it feels predictable. And so the cycle repeats itself. Fear, hesitation, inaction, regret, more fear. So take a moment here and consider for yourself which fear is speaking loudest for you. The fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of clarity or lack thereof, the fear of comfort or discomfort. Because here's the deal. Inaction doesn't mean that you're lazy or unmotivated or undisciplined. It simply means that you are protecting yourself. Your nervous system thinks it's keeping you safe. And once you see, you can approach yourself with compassion instead of judgment, then you can choose differently. If you're realizing how often inaction has been running the show in your life, I want you to know that you don't have to stay there. That's why I've created a free masterclass called the Confident Coach Blueprint. And in it, I take you through 3 practical steps to rebuild trust with yourself, claim your expertise, and create lasting impact. It's a supportive space to help you move from hesitation into aligned action. And you can sign up for free at nancylevin.com/masterclass. Now, let's talk about how to begin building momentum. Because the opposite of inaction isn't a giant leap, it's momentum. And momentum begins with the smallest aligned action. Think of it like training a muscle. You don't start with the heaviest weight. You start small and build strength. If you want to change careers, instead of quitting tomorrow, dedicate 20 minutes to exploring a new direction. If you want to write a book, don't pressure yourself to finish it in a day. Just write one page. If you want deeper relationships, begin with one single honest conversation, not a total overhaul. So, for yourself, what is one action you could take today that's so small it almost feels too easy? Because those small actions matter more than you think. They rebuild self-trust. They send the message, I follow through for myself. And with each step, your confidence grows. And over time, those small steps compound into transformation. Because something powerful happens once you start moving out of inaction. You not only change your own life, but you begin to influence others. Your family notices. Your friends feel it. Your colleagues see you showing up differently. You become someone who models what it looks like to choose growth over fear. And for many, that ripple becomes a calling to support others in their own growth. And that's the essence of coaching. Coaching isn't about having it all figured out. It's about being willing to walk the path, to grow, and to share from your experience as you guide others to their own truth and their own answers. And so if you allowed your own growth to ripple outward, what kind of impact could you imagine having on others? Your struggles become insights. Your willingness to take action can give others permission to do the same. That's how inaction turns into impact. I'm so glad you decided to spend this time with me today. Remember, inaction might feel safe, but it quietly costs you your dreams. The antidote to inaction is not perfection, it is presence. It's choosing one small aligned action today. And so as we close, ask yourself, what is one step your future self will thank you for? And then commit to taking it. And if you want some extra guidance, please remember that you can join me for my upcoming free live virtual masterclass, The Confident Coach Blueprint, at nancylevin.com/masterclass. The moment you begin, you dissolve the cycle of inaction and you reclaim your power. Until next time, trust yourself enough to take that step and start.